Hello and welcome to the Enterprise Review, Programme 4.
In this programme, we'll be looking at everyday life in the UK. What is it that makes the country tick? What do people do for jobs and holidays? Where do they go for entertainment? What do they eat? How do they celebrate? Plus an adventure story from Britain's history book.
Want to find out more? Well, stick with me, Jake Martin, for my own special tour through life in the UK.
Module 1. People and Places. First, let's look at some of the jobs people do. People and jobs.
Hi, I'm Jenny and I'm a business manager. I have to be efficient and careful to do my job quickly and accurately.
Hello, I'm Steve and I'm a photographer. I have to be patient and creative to take my photographs efficiently.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm a policeman. I have to be fit and observant to do my job thoroughly.
Time to take another look at those jobs to see what you remember. This is Jenny. She's a business manager. She has to be efficient and careful to do her job quickly and accurately. This is Chris. He's a policeman and he has to be fit and observant to do his job thoroughly. This is Steve and he's a photographer. He has to be patient and creative to take his photographs efficiently.
So there's a handful of different jobs. But how do you get a job in the first place? Probably by going for an interview.
So, we're going to show you two versions of a job interview. One where the applicant says all the wrong things. But first, here's an applicant who really wants the job.
Could you tell me where you saw the advert for this job, please?
Yes, in the Cambridge Evening News.
And have you got your CV with you?
Yes, I have indeed.
Excellent, thank you. Well, you've had some good experience. Could I ask you what relevant experience you have for this job?
Well, yeah, I was the catering manager at a large hotel for a number of years where I organised and oversaw conference meals, wedding meals and such like.
That's fine. And could you tell me why you left your previous job?
Well, I felt I wanted to pursue a more professional and a more advanced career, and I think a business manager of a small company like this would be perfect for me.
Excellent. Any questions you'd like to ask us?
Yes, what are the working hours for this job?
The working hours are 9 to 5:30, that's Monday to Friday. You might be asked to work the occasional weekend, but we do pay overtime for that.
Right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And now for the next applicant, Claire. And she's really nervous.
Thanks for coming in, Claire. Can I ask you where you saw the advert for this job?
I can't really remember because I go to so many job positions. Maybe it was in the local newspaper or a friend of mine told me. I can't remember.
Okay. Have you brought your CV with you?
No, I'm afraid I left it on the train.
Could you tell me about any relevant experience you might have?
I haven't actually had any relevant experience, but I can tell you about my hobbies. I like to play tennis and I like to go shopping and I like to travel, but that's about it.
Okay. Could you tell me about why you left your previous job?
Yes, I found my previous boss very irritating and I didn't like the way she criticised me for silly little things like being about 5 minutes late for work.
Right. Any questions you'd like to ask us?
Yes, would it be possible for me to start work late in the morning because I have trouble getting out of bed in the morning? Obviously I'll work later in the day.
So what kind of reference would those two candidates get?
Let's find out as the personnel manager checks out the references. First, the guy who really wants the job.
Who's applied for a job with us?
Oh yes.
What would you say his strengths were?
He's reliable, hard-working and he gets on with everyone.
Good. And how often was he absent?
He worked for us for a year and I think he only had 3 days off in all that time.
So you'd recommend him to us, would you?
Absolutely. Could be a real help to your company.
Thanks for your help.
Not at all. If there's any other help I can give you, just call.
Goodbye.
And now, the applicant who got it all wrong.
Hello, I'm calling about Claire Jenkins, who's applied for a job with us.
Right, okay.
What would you say her strengths were?
Well, she's reliable, but very nervous. I think she's best working on her own rather than with other people. Does that help?
Yes, of course. And how often was she absent?
Well, she didn't take many days off, but to be honest, the problem was getting her into the office first thing in the morning. I think she found it difficult, to get going. She was often late.
So would you recommend her to us?
Yes, if you're a patient, mind. I can say she's very loyal and hardworking.
Thanks for your help.
That's all right. Would you like me to send across a written reference for you?
Yes, that would be great.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Whatever kind of job you get in the UK, the chances are that you'll be working with other people. So communication skills are really important. And of course, being ready to help people when it's needed.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'm looking for a friend of mine. We're meeting here for lunch.
What does she look like?
She's got fair hair, early 20s. Her name's Sue Temple. She's probably wearing a green jacket.
Okay, I'll have a quick look in the dining room, and if she's not there, I'll go to reception and ask them to put a message out over the intercom.
Excellent. Thanks very much.
That's okay, don't worry, we'll find her if she's here.
It's good to be helpful, but sometimes even your friends can be a bit too helpful. Zoe is trying to get away on holiday, but her friend James just won't let her get on with the packing and getting ready.
Now then, you mustn't forget your passport.
No, James, it's here.
Good, right. And don't try to pack too many things in your suitcase.
I know that, James.
You must fold your clothes. Just fold them. They'll fit easier if you do. Oh, and when you get to the airport, you should try and get some bottles of water, the small ones. You should always drink lots of water on a long flight.
I've already thought of that. That's why I'm taking a small bottle of water with me. Is there anything else?
Well, yes, actually. When you get there, if it's hot and you're in the sun, you must wear lots of suntan cream to stop you from burning.
You know what, James? You sound more and more like my grandfather every day.
James was just trying to say the right things, but I think he probably gave a bit too much advice. What was it he said to Zoe?
Zoe mustn't forget her passport. And she shouldn't try to pack too many things into the suitcase. She must fold her clothes because they'll fit better if she does. Zoe must drink lots of water on her flight. And when she gets to her holiday destination, she must put on plenty of suntan cream to stop her from burning. Places to visit. Britain is a great country with lots of things to see and do. But where should you go if you want a weekend break?
London is a great place with terrific shopping and great sightseeing, but it is very expensive. So lots of people choose one of Britain's historic towns. Let's take a look at two of them now.
Canterbury is in the south of England. It's a very old town with narrow streets. There are shops, cafes and restaurants, but no traffic in the middle of the town, which makes it a good place for sightseeing. Canterbury's main tourist attraction is its cathedral. It's a famous and beautiful building with 2 million visitors a year. York is in the north of England. It's also a very old town with streets that are so narrow that the roofs of the houses on each side of the street almost touch each other. Many of the streets are cobbled with old stones. York's main tourist attraction is the Jorvik Centre. It's built on the site of the town's Viking settlement. When you tour around Jorvik, you can experience what it was like to live in York more than 1,000 years ago.
Let's have another look at those two towns and their main attractions.
Canterbury is in the south of England. It's a very old town with narrow streets. There's no traffic in the middle of the town. Canterbury's main tourist attraction is its cathedral. York is in the north of England. Many of the streets are cobbled with old stones. York's main tourist attraction is the Jorvik Centre.
My personal favourite is Canterbury because I love the atmosphere in the town. And there's a great Spanish restaurant in the centre.
But if you fancy a holiday further away, in Europe, You can arrange it by going to a travel agent.
Me and 3 friends are really interested in going to Spain for a holiday.
Okay, when would you like to go?
The end of May, there's a college half term.
That would be a good time to go. The weather's not too hot, it's nice and warm. How about Marbella? It's on the south coast. There's some information in here you'd like to look at.
There'd be 4 of us, so we'd need 2 rooms as well.
Okay.
How much would that cost?
Well, that works out to about £350 per person, so that's £1,400 for the week.
And what would that include?
That includes your transport to the airport, flights and half board at the hotel.
Sounds good. Can I pay by credit card?
Yes, you could. Would you like me to write some information down for you so you can take it away and think about it?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
But nowadays, there are other ways to book your holiday, other than going to a travel agent. You can look at the brochures in your own home and then book on the internet.
Students often think about going away for a holiday when they've finished their exams, but these two disagree about where to go.
I think we should go to Australia. Sydney looks like a great city, no?
It seems okay, but I reckon somewhere closer, like Italy. We can get a hotel by the beach, and then go sunbathing during the day, and then clubbing at night.
I see what you're saying, but we could go to Italy any time. Australia seems far more interesting.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem worth going to Australia just for 2 weeks.
Ooh, nearly an argument there. But Tom and Jack are friends, so whether they end up going to Australia, Italy, or just stay at home, I'm sure they'll work things out. But sometimes, when you are away on holiday, things just keep going wrong. Take a look at this.
Can I help you, sir?
Yes. My room hasn't been cleaned and the bed hasn't been made.
What room number, sir?
Number 27, on the 2nd floor.
I'll see that somebody does it straight away.
I also asked for a 7 o'clock wake-up call this morning, but the system didn't work. I overslept and I missed my breakfast.
I'll see that doesn't happen tomorrow morning.
Would you do that for me, please? I shall also expect a reduction in my bill if the service doesn't improve.
Let's hope we can improve it.
I do hope so.
Wherever you stay in Britain, I'm sure you'll have a better experience than that.
So let's round up. Here's our Enterprise holiday recommendations. Choose London for the perfect mix of sightseeing and shopping. Lots to see and lots to do. And don't forget to take a ride on one of London's famous double-decker buses. If you'd like a bit of history, head for York or Canterbury. Narrow streets, old world charm, and some great buildings to look around. Perfect if you like a bit of peace and quiet and not too much traffic. And if you're in the mood for a longer trip, pop into a travel agent and see what they have to offer. You can choose from a few days in Europe to something much further away.
But wherever you go and whatever you do, enjoy your holiday.
Stories.